notice anything different about me?
Should I be? It's different.
I'm wearing pants.
You are wearing pants.
Yeah.
It's just true.
Yeah.
That's true. You are.
We're making it fancy.
Yeah. It's.
Bacon! Bacon is my podcast! Bacon! Bacon is my... Bacon! Bacon is my podcast! Bacon! Bacon is my...
So should we do it?
Yeah.
I can't believe it. There's a freaking boat in here.
That's amazing.
How did it get in there?
Blown glass. It looks like blown glass.
No. This is the Bermuda Triangle. That's what it is.
Oh.
And you just turn you get
Wizardry.
You get into a stuck in a decanter.
It's like some Pirates of the Caribbean stuff.
Yep. You will forever be yeah.
On a glass boat. So what kind of whiskey do we got here?
The huge
Sweet.
Jameson
Nice.
with a touch of Jameson.
That sounds nice.
While I'm pouring, you should probably tell people what's going on here.
Oh, yeah. Well, first off, welcome to Bacon is My Podcast. I'm Jimmy from Craving Strange. This is Mike from Something Heavy.
I have a glass boat inside a decanter.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what's up.
We're getting fancy. Fancy decanter to match our fancy pants.
Yeah.
We got a fancy intro.
Yeah. Yeah.
We got fancy pod decks brought to you by Pod Decks. A
Yes.
sponsor.
Hashtag powered by Pod Decks.
Powered by Pod Decks.
Yeah.
Definitely a sponsor. So yeah, how did we come across this glorious decanter? For those of you listening that are not watching right now, we have a glass globe decanter on a what would you call this?
I don't know. It looks like something that you'd see in a museum. Something displayed, something really fancy and expensive displayed on a
I feel like it's
like a telescope.
It's on something that would be used to navigate, right? But you wouldn't use the globe that way.
No.
I mean, you would use a globe to navigate.
I think the best way to do this is for people to go to our social medias.
Yeah, we'll put photos up.
Yeah, at Bacon is My Passion.
Yeah.
For all those social media peeps out there and who's listening and not watching. But yeah, this is going to be a thing now. So the reason why we got this is because Jen, my wife, saw it and was like, you know what? This would be an excellent prop for the podcast.
Kudos to Jen.
Yeah, she's got a good eye for that.
She was correct.
She was very correct. So, we have the globe glasses.
Yeah, globe glasses. Very nice.
Yeah, I'm very
nice little
excited
clink.
For this.
I am excited too. Delicious.
It smells more. Actually,
it's been decanted.
Actually, yeah, it's a nice picture.
Yeah.
Aramaic. A little more Aramaic than your normal. Like there is a difference.
There is. I actually, yeah. I've always kind of laughed at the decanting thing.
Yeah, me too.
You know, like with wines and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, of course, yeah.
Yeah, enjoy that.
Oh yeah, you aerated it. Yeah, good for you. But I actually do notice a little bit of difference.
Yeah.
Is this regular Jameson or
this is regular Jameson.
Just regular green bottle straight up?
Yeah, it's one of the large ones too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Hey, you know what? I was wrong. Happy to be wrong.
Yeah. You know what I think it is? I think it's from the mini pirates in the ship.
I do too. Bilgewater.
Yeah. Scurvy.
Let's hope not. Let's hope not.
Well, limes.
Right.
As long as we have limes, we're good.
That's true.
Yeah.
Limes are plentiful.
Yeah. So, yeah. So you did the intro, right?
I did the intro. Do you know that when it was discovered that to fight scurvy, vitamin C was helpful, and like limes and oranges and things were something that you could use to easily make sure you didn't get it. It still took years for that information to get around to everybody because people were still out on ships and there was no way to get them that information.
Yeah.
So like the discovery happened, and years later it finally took effect when it was such a simple thing that it could have been on the next ship, or if they were able to reach people with technology like we have today.
Yeah.
Had they only had Facebook,
Technologically,
they would have known about it and rejected limes altogether.
Or they would have commented on it and been like, fake news.
that could have happened too. Probably would have.
Yeah, there would definitely be the lime deterrers. Who would be
Absolutely.
like, limes suck.
You're trying to put chips in our limes.
Don't shove things in my face.
Are you zesting me? Don't you zest me.
Yeah.
Soon to be on a Bacon is My Podcast t-shirt. Don't you zest me.
Don't you zest me. I like it.
I like it too.
I really like it. This new camera too. So we also, besides having a new decanter,
Yes.
we still have the same folding table.
Although because of the new camera, the folding table, you get to see more of it.
Right.
You
It's
can
just
see
a
our
folding table.
see our sexy legs.
You can see our legs.
For those of you listening only.
Yeah. But yeah. So I think we need a better table.
Yeah, maybe.
So those of you watching, we need a better table. But because of the new camera, it's weird.
Yeah, the room looks bigger.
Yeah. Which is great.
And the
because-
table also looks bigger. It looks like it's a long table. Like it doesn't look like it ends right there.
Yeah.
It doesn't look, it looks like it's
Yeah. No, this is I like it. It will get more better focused, and
more better focused.
yeah. I need to take another drink.
That'll be on a shirt too.
More better.
Bacon is My Podcast. More better focused.
We need to write all these down.
Don't zest me. We're getting them down. We're getting them down. We just have to listen back, and then all you listeners just hold us accountable and be like, "Yo, where is my Don't Zest Me shirt?"
Oh yeah, there you go. Well, it was kind of like with every word you say when
Right? Yeah. When that came out, it was like, "Wait, we have a song coming out tomorrow."
Okay, so peek behind the curtain. To release a song, to pick a date, you need to pick it with like 4 weeks.
Yeah, about a month and
like 4 weeks leeway.
Yeah, that's when you actually send it to the company that's going to distribute it and that's going to get it out to your streaming services. And that's typically when you would, once you pick that date, now you have the date, and it's up to you to start promoting.
Right.
And making sure that people know it's going to happen.
Right.
Including yourself.
Right. Well,
apparently.
See, this is the other issue, because the two of us, we both have our respective projects.
Right.
And then we have this. So the podcast we're doing every week.
Yeah.
So we're always doing something on that. And then, we'll talk about it a little later, but the Patreon,
Mm-hmm.
doing content for that, we're always doing it. So at that point, you had Rise coming out.
Right.
And I think we finished, when you finally got the final mix, and I did the final mix of every word you say. And
Yeah.
I was also working on the Something Heavy paper cut
Right.
cover.
Right.
So
yeah,
we
all that was
basically
happening
had
at the same time.
everything all together.
Mm-hmm.
And we knew the Rise date, and I was like, okay, well, I'll do things based around Rise. I'll make sure there's spacing, this and that. And so I think that song was submitted like 7 weeks before.
Yeah.
Because like Rise was 4 weeks.
Right. And
Paper Cut was 5 or 6 weeks.
Right,
and then
right.
This was,
and then this one.
and it was just
Wow.
Yeah.
And it totally slipped both of our minds.
Right. Because then you had the holidays.
And yeah.
And then, yeah.
And it was just like all of a sudden, oh, we have a song coming out tomorrow. We were like, what?
And that's why
you texted me, and I was like, no, that's not right.
And that's why when we went out that day, we were like, hey, surprise, guys.
Right. Surprise release.
Literally a surprise to all of us.
Yeah. What's great about that, though, and I had mentioned this to our buddy DJ, who is the singer of Revel 9, singer, primary songwriter, guitar player, host of the Hard Rock Lunchbox on Thursdays on New Regal Radio, and content provider to Strangerhood TV with the Top 20. So he played the song on the box that day. Did he actually play the finalized version?
Yes, it was the actual final mix.
It was the final mix. Yeah. He was joking with me about it, and I was like, this is what it feels like to have no pressure.
Right.
Because it came up, and it was like, let's put this out. Yeah. And other people shared our song before I was able to share it.
Yeah.
Because it came out and they had started sharing it, and I was like, oh, I better get on this.
Well, what's good with me is I work early.
Yeah.
I get to work at 7 o'clock, so occasionally I'll actually have a little bit of time, and the advent of social media and being able to connect your phone to X amount of accounts, I'm like, okay, I got a system down. All I got to do is follow the system. Right.
I pick up the lunch crowd.
Yeah. He picks up the lunch
crowd. The lunch and evening. I'm that guy.
The early crowd. But yeah. So surprise stuff is.
But yeah, that was great.
And that'll probably happen with the next single as well.
Yeah, which is kind of fun. I think we sort of did the same thing with Death Be a Woman, where just because we did it so fast.
Well, yeah, we kind of had no choice.
That it was like, it has to be out now, and we didn't even know we were going to release it. We did it, we recorded it, we submitted it to the director of the movie, and you had said, like, should we just put this out? And I was like, yeah, let's absolutely put this out. Like,
just why not?
I hadn't even thought about that, and when you mentioned it, I was like, oh yeah, we should totally, let's put this out. We can do that. Yeah. That's right, we can do that. Yeah. And so that was a big, like, real quick, just kind of happened thing also, where we didn't even really give a lot of lead time to that one. It was just kind of like from recording it to it being out on streaming services.
Oh, it was like 5 or 6 weeks.
Was like 5 or 6 weeks, yeah. And from writing it to recording it was like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's because it needed to be ready in 2 weeks.
Right. At that
because
time.
The movie is not done yet still.
Right. It needed to be ready right away, and then the movie got more money and rewrites and a new star who got stuck in Ireland because of COVID restrictions. So they couldn't have him come. So he's shooting stuff over there, and then there's more people getting involved with it.
Right.
And it's getting rewrites again. And maybe we're in it.
Maybe we're not.
But the song is.
But the song is a thing.
The song is in it. So that's which is also cool, because it was like, it was hurry up and get this done, and under the gun and under pressure we were able to, like, get it done. And then now that there's all this extra time, I'm glad that we're not still sitting on the song.
Right.
Because we would have been. We would have been still.
And then been like, we should just release it.
Right. Or we would be like, let's go in and fix this, or let's go in and fix that, or let's retake this or retake that. And it didn't. It forced us to really kind of like write, record, release.
Yeah.
And live with it.
Yeah.
And I think that's awesome, because are there things that I hear in my own performance that, like, if I had another take, I think I could do better? Sure, of course there is. But am I glad that I'm not? Yes, because I'm totally happy with getting it out. And I think that's like was an important lesson too for me, because of everything that's going into everything that went into Rise, and that's going into Ashes, and that's, all that kind of like meticulous go in and redo something, and like to give it another listen on 10 things, and so it was cool for me to remember that you can do it this way too.
Yeah.
You can just kind of like bang it out. And I think that's cool. I think like for Bacon is My Passion, it's kind of fun that because we are a podcast,
Right.
we are we are musicians, we have other bands, we are this thing that can be kind of whatever it needs to be at the time, or whatever we feel like it being at the time. That there doesn't have to be that whole typical thought process of how do we release a song.
Yeah.
Which is cool to me because I think all of us in general should be getting away from the idea of how you should release a song and doing things opposite anyway.
So what in your mind, because again, that we do have a lot of listeners that aren't necessarily musicians. What goes into releasing a song?
Too much.
From beginning to end, what goes in?
All right. So in like the quickest possible way to explain it is like you write a song and you get into the process of, okay, what are you going to do with it? Bringing it to other people, bringing it through the ringer of deciding how the song's going to sound, how it's going to go, what kind of feel you want. For me anyway, it's like that because I write everything on acoustic.
Yeah.
So when I write on acoustic and then translate it to electric, it's a whole other process of, okay, how is this going to sound this way? What do I take away? What do I need to add? And then bringing the band in, it's like, who's going to add this? Who's going to add that? And then we pick a direction and we start working the direction. But after all that, and then you get past the pre-production, and then you get past the recording process, and then you get past the, going back and meticulously going through every recording and mixing and which vocal.
And again, this is what we alluded to before.
Yeah.
So DJ was making fun of me because.
Right. Did I hear the final take? How many final takes?
As an engineer and somebody who just constantly mixes, every time you go into your car, you're like, okay, well, let's see how this sounds.
Yeah.
And literally every time you hear something,
and
it might not be huge, but it's something, and it's gonna forever bother you.
And if you have the means to leave your car, go into a room, bring the song up, and change that thing that you heard,
right,
you're gonna.
Right, exactly.
But much like the butterfly wing that causes a ripple on a lake that turns into a tsunami somewhere down the line, you change one thing, it affects something else somewhere.
Right.
And so you'll hear the next thing. So at some point, you have to go, I'm done.
Well, see, so if we want, we can go on this little tiny tangent here.
Sure.
So for me, and this is probably going to go against what 90% of my engineer, producer, whatever they want to call themselves, friends do. I only mix in 20 to 30 minute intervals.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I don't sit there and tweak levels and stuff like that. So editing I'll do for hours.
Right.
Hours and hours and hours.
Right.
And getting different sounds for each thing, where like each component, so the guitar sound, stuff like that. And again, with technology the way that it is, I do always have a starting point, depending on who I'm working with. We have our own presets.
Right.
Something heavy has our own.
Kind of like a
presets.
template, guys.
Right.
If you got it, like an email template, really. You have
exactly.
your thing where everything's placed. Here's my header. Here's my middle. Here's where I put the drums. Here's where I put the guitars usually. Here's where the vocals sit usually.
So I'll have a template for plugins, which is EQing the guitar and making sure that it fits in a certain spot and stuff like that. After a while, just because I've been doing it for so long, that's kind of just how things work. So I'm able to save that, which is very cool and makes the workflow just that much easier. And then it's just a matter of little tweaking here and there. So that process I will tend to take a little bit longer with. But on the overall, I'll only sit 20 to 30 minutes at a clip.
Right.
And after 20, 30 minutes, before your ears start to fatigue. Because once you hit that mark, you're always going to hear something, and at that point, it's like, okay, it's probably wrong.
Right.
You should probably step back for a second, because you just listened to, a 3-minute song 20 times over, or a part of a song 20 times.
Right. I was gonna say 3 seconds of a 3-minute song.
So what I tend to do is I'll do it in like 3 or 4 30-minute sessions.
That's smart. That makes sense.
And then again, you bring it to the car, and this way, I'll go to sleep. I'll wake up in the morning. I'll go to work. I'll throw it in the Dropbox, and when I'm ready to go, I'll I'll drive to work, and I'll listen to the song, and I'll go, okay, this is what needs to be done, and then I'll have a day of work, and then when I go home, before I go, I'll re-listen, and I'll go, okay, this maybe wasn't as bad as I originally thought it was, and stuff like that. So a little side tangent. This is my process. This is what I end up doing.
And everybody's got theirs, and I think like for someone that doesn't mix and doesn't do that, I would equate it to, like the template thing, equating it to an email, or even the editing thing. I would look at it like if you're a gamer and you're like a completionist.
Yeah.
If you're trying to get 100% completion on like a game where you're spending 80 hours in it, right? And you're trying to uncover every secret and go into every door and everything. That's what mixing a song is. Yeah. You're repeating levels over and over and over again to make sure that you got everything right and that you did everything to finish that part. So that's its own. That can be anything from, on a typical 4.5 minute song, 3.5 to 4.5 minute song, you're talking 20, 30 hours probably.
Oh yeah.
Of editing, and then another few hours mixing. Yeah. Maybe another 5 to 10 mixing, because once you've got your levels, you're doing that, and then that's including all your like. I listened to it, I heard something different in my car than I did on headphones, all to make sure that when our song comes to you, the listener, that no matter what you listen to it on, it's going to sound good.
Right.
Because it's really easy to have something sound great on your monitors for your computer system, right? But sound horrible on earbuds. So you have to kind of find a middle ground to where maybe it doesn't sound perfect on your monitors, but the way that you mixed it sounds good on there. It sounds good on earbuds. It sounds good in your car. Yeah. You have to take into consideration that a lot of people crank the bass, like all those kinds of things. So all that thought goes into it. So after all that's done, right, and the song's done and it's finished, and we go to release it. So now we have to pay to have it copywritten.
Yep.
Right? So you got to pay for the copyrights, which is what now? It's about $65 per song.
Yeah.
Right? So that's a thing you got to get done. You have to license it with your performing rights organization, which is just what that is that's a service that they track every song that's registered with them all over the world. They track it, whether it's on the radio, on internet services, on streaming services. They track it so that you know how many times you're being played, so that people like not record labels, but radio stations that are paying fees to those companies to distribute that money to you if your song is played. Right? It's not a lot of money. Thousands and thousands of plays equal out to ones and ones of dollars. And that's just the way it is. Yeah. But so you have to get those two things taken care of. So now we've gotten our copyrights done, and we've gotten our ASCAP fees done, right? And that's going to a site, filling it out. You send your song to them, you send your lyrics to them, all that kind of stuff. Then you got to figure out what other service you want to use to distribute your music, because you have to get it on Spotify. You have to get it on Apple Music. And those things, There's fees to that. There's so many different companies that handle that have different types of pay structures to where you pay them monthly or you pay them yearly or you pay them once and they take a percentage off of whatever money comes in from your song being played or purchased.
Right.
All those kind of factors go in. So it's picking that company, and then you pick that company, and then you have to figure out how much lead time they need, because generally it's about a month before anything can actually get up on all these sites. It takes about that much time for your song to kind of go through the system and then be up on the site. But if you want that song to be highlighted on that site for any reason, if you want it to be part of your Discover Weeklies, or if you want it to be part of anything else, there's usually either another fee or a certain time frame that you have to put it in at.
So basically, with that stuff, if you have a month, generally it gets through the approval process, I guess you want to call it, and within each service, so you've got your Apple Musics, you've got your Spotify's, you got your Amazons, you got everything. And you need to claim, first off, you need to claim your band.
Right.
And prove that it's you.
Yes.
So if you don't do that, you can throw whatever you want on there, but somebody can just claim it.
I routinely get copyright infringement from myself on YouTube.
Yeah.
Because our last record went through a label.
Okay.
And so that label that's affiliated with Sony had to put our music through them and through their process of this whole same thing. They all do the same thing. So basically what happened is everything that a label used to do for a band, we're able to do now. So it kind of gives us a little bit of control and a little bit of power there, which is good. We don't have the reach that a label would have, which is bad, but that's neither here nor there. That's a whole different conversation.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have to claim it and you have to prove that it's yours, because like I said, like every time I put a song from my Careful the Landmines record on anything, I have to prove that it's mine, and I have to like go back to the label that we worked with to release the song and say, "Hey guys, can you verify me, because I wanted to put a video up of myself." Or someone wanted to use a song from the record that I paid for and did that I put your logo on the cover.
Right. Well, and the other thing too is with this is if you don't claim your stuff, basically, I mean, I'm lucky and you're lucky that nobody has our names, but somebody can.
Yep, somebody can.
And there's no reason why they can't. They could just do the same thing.
Right.
And then what happens is your Spotify comes up with some weird other music that isn't yours. And I've seen that a number of times, and they just get integrated, and
then that's it.
That's that.
Yeah, it's really hard to get rid of that.
Yeah. So yeah, you do have to do that, and then once you're in that, once you put the music through for distribution, usually takes about 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah,
and within each of those platforms, you have to actually go in and submit it to playlists and submit it to for promotion and things like that. So all these bands that actually put Spotify playlists, like, thanks so much, a lot of the girl bands, thanks for putting us on this top female rockers, whatever. That's huge. That's a huge deal, because people that work at Spotify who are in charge of different genres heard the song.
Yep.
And threw it on a playlist. And there are people who actually follow that. So
and you submit to those playlists too, so you have the ability to kind of go in.
so those are the ones you want to submit to. There's a lot out there on Instagram and just everywhere on social media where they're like, oh, give us X amount of money and we'll guarantee you X amount of plays and this and that. And that's all BS.
It's crazy how so many. It's tough for an up and coming band or a new band to navigate that stuff because there are so many sites and there are so many services, we'll say, that say that we're all about helping you get your stuff out there. We guarantee you'll
10,000 listens.
You'll be on this, and then you'll join their thing and you'll pay them. And we all do it, and we've all done it. You'll pay them. You'll become part of the nation, so to speak.
Right.
And what'll happen is you'll do it, and you'll start to see things that happen. You'll start to see that, like, oh, submit to these things, and you just pay for a bid on this thing.
It's not even not even a ton of money either.
No. It's little things here and there.
$20 here, $30 here.
Yeah, just pay to get on it, and you get like, you almost got this one. No, but you almost got this one, and you're like, oh man, what do we need to do better? And you keep trying to be better, and you keep submitting to more things, and you keep wanting to be like a bigger part of that nation, or to pay for more bids, and those things keep coming back as like, oh, you almost got it, and then you start to realize that, like, wait, how is it that I'm getting told no on literally everything I submit to, but I'm number 1 on the charts in my area on this site? And then you get frustrated and you stop using the site. And the next time you go in on the site, you see that you're no longer on the charts. And now you've logged in, and the next day you're like number 3 on the charts. And you're like, wait, so being on the charts is a factor of me logging in?
Yeah.
Huh. That's odd.
That actually wasn't what I was talking about.
Well, but
it is very much.
That's one of the things I'm talking about. They will rip you off, and they're not well, I don't want to say they're not designed to rip you off. They're not. There's a lot of people at these sites and at these programs, and maybe when they write them and when they start them, their plan is really to help you out, but it just doesn't pay because so much work goes into it to really curate. If we created a site for bands right now, and we said, we will submit your bands to things, and we will help you guys get to things, and we got 10 submissions, it would be really easy to go through. If we got 100,000 submissions, we would not be able to do it. No matter how many staff we got, we would have to start charging to pay for staff, and there would still be too many bands and too many things. Right. So you wouldn't start to make choices based on how good things are or what really needs to be there. It would turn into a situation where you start to make choices based on who's using the service more.
Right.
Who's paying into the service more? Who are your high contributors? Who went for the pro plan? Right? Who went for the pro plan and is submitting every day to things? Let's give them something back because I see their name a lot.
Right.
Right? Because I don't have time to listen to I can't listen to 100 3-minute songs in a day. I can't, especially in making choice for something. Like it's just not feasible. So I can't lay blame on the companies that are doing this because I do like to think that they started with the idea of trying to help bands. But I can say that if you start to see these patterns where your standing is directly connected to how much you're using the site, or you're putting a lot of money in, but you're not getting chosen for things. Sure, the first thing you want to look at is what are you putting in? What kind of quality are you putting in? What does your EPK look like? What does your song sound like? How much, and that has to be a factor. But you got to kind of look at it and go, maybe the site's not helping me.
Yeah, I mean, and also, there's, again, I was saying that the Instagram pages and social media advertisements that
Yeah.
that go, give us $30 and we'll put you on this playlist and guarantee you 10,000 plays
Right.
in X amount of days or a month or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? At the end of the day, put that $30 into yourself.
Yep.
Put it in your own social media thing, because you know what? 10,000 plays ain't gonna get you your $30 back.
Nope, it's not. I tell you what, and I just went through this. We, releasing Rise, it was like I had to go, okay, we've released stuff in the past. We've put out videos that have gotten a decent amount of views and a decent amount of interactions and stuff, but nothing really that moved the needle at all on us. And it was kind of like, okay, I could pay one of these sites that I keep seeing on social media, or I could pay to be one of these things that people keep seeing on social media.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Like, just because you see something doesn't mean that it's popular, and it doesn't mean that it's valuable, and it doesn't mean that it works. It means that someone paid for the time.
Right.
Like, people told me that they were like, we kept seeing stuff for Rise all over the place. Yeah, because I paid for it every
Exactly.
week. Every week. That was like a $40 to $60 a week advertising campaign on social media,
Mm-hmm.
just to get the views that we got, and it wasn't a crazy amount. We'd get a couple thousand interactions, which is awesome.
Right. That's
Awesome.
what you need.
But that was $40 to $60 every week for 4 to 6 weeks leading up to that release, just to get those interactions on social media. Now, those things are not things. That's not money that will come back,
Right.
because that money is not advertising something you can buy. It's advertising a song you can listen to. It's advertising a video you can watch. And it's hoping that you'll share it or add it to a playlist or follow the site or something like that. But, it's just cost of doing business is what it is, because there's no return on it.
Yeah.
Because things are different, and that's kind of what you have to do. And I had to make that decision of like, okay, do I pay some company who's paying Facebook
Right.
$100 a week so that I see them? Do I pay them $200 a week so they can make somebody see me?
Right.
Or do I try and do that myself? And that was the gamble that we took on this one. And I'm more than pleased with what we got back from it.
Absolutely.
But that's the reality of releasing a song, releasing music.
Yeah, we didn't even go through the album art and anything like that either.
Oh, yeah. Do you pay for album art? Do you make it yourself? Are you good with Photoshop? Do you pay for Photoshop? Do you use Canva? Do you?
So what I can say is, for up and coming musicians who and just anybody who's looking to put any kind of art out, first and foremost, always look for license-free art.
Yes.
Because you can get screwed.
Absolutely.
And with that license-free art,
or buy your art. If it's something that you
Yes,
really,
if you
really
really want
like and you really dig it and it fits your thing, you buy it. We bought the art for Save Yourself and for Life Exceptional.
Yep.
And those are some of the best purchases we've ever made, because those two album covers, Life Exceptional to this day is my favorite album cover, that of anything that I've ever done.
Yeah.
And I loved it. And it was just as simple as like I bought it. I bought it from the woman that created it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was happy to. I was happy to pay for it because it was awesome. So pay your artists.
Yeah.
If you can find stuff that's license free, alter it.
Right.
Alter it as much as you can.
That's what I was going to say. So use it as a basis, but a little bit of knowledge on Photoshop or Canva, which is what I use,
Mm-hmm.
alter it. It's not you. It's still not yours.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
still not yours.
Exactly.
So
Get in touch with the person and credit them.
Definitely, yes.
You know,
definitely
because
credit
you
them.
might get a fan.
Right.
You might get a fan. The like I said, all the artwork that we've paid for and that we've bought and that we've used. Careful the Landmines, I didn't have to do anything with because the artwork that I found was nothing like what it ended up being.
Yeah.
I did all that myself with very limited Photoshop knowledge and a lot of hours of just kind of like stumbling across stuff and being like, oh man, I hope this looks good big. And then zooming in and making sure, you know. But everything else, like we have a guy in Canada that loves our music, that bought T-shirts, that sent pictures of him with the record that we sent him. We sent him, a few CDs to hand out to friends and stuff because his artwork is the cover of our CD, and he sent back pictures, cheersing us with some whiskey. And
Nice.
with CDs, and that's awesome because it's another advocate. It's someone else that's going to spread your stuff, and it's not someone that's going to look and see that your band is using their artwork, and they're like, these sons of bitch, what?
Yeah.
You know, like, always give that option.
Yeah, because I mean, artists are just like musicians.
That's
We're
what
all
we
artists.
are. Yeah,
we're all artists.
we're all trying to make
We-
something out of
for-
nothing.
For something heavy, we actually for the main logo that we use on just about everything on the shirts and everything like that, we use Ridgeline Media. Now,
Okay.
Ridgeline Media is actually the singer of the band Rivals, who will probably be on this show at some point.
Yeah,
Uh,
who's doing exactly what we're talking about? You know
Right,
what I mean? And if you,
exactly.
that's a great thing. And I'm just going to quickly pull that out. The singer of the band doing artwork and logo work for other bands because they have a skill, right? If you have a skill, put that out there for everyone in your area.
Yeah, exactly. And now, you know, she's done artwork for something heavy. But what's even cooler is Escape the Fate. They just did something with her.
Oh, that's great.
Paige.
Oh,
From
wow.
WWE.
Yeah,
and Zelina Vega, whatever. Trinidad is it now?
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, they did work with her too. So
that's awesome.
You know, musicians have other jobs too.
Yeah.
So definitely tap into them and help them out.
Your favorite musician might be doing copywriting on Fiverr for people.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely.
Or acrylic pour on Fiverr.
Pour. I gotta hit her up about it.
Annie Stoic from Jackknife Stiletto.
Because there's two spots there. I feel like we could get.
She is selling acrylic pour artwork. She even got commissioned to do specific artwork, and people are now posting about her artwork. And she's also doing video editing on Fiverr as well.
Yeah. She was telling me
while
about
she's
that.
not touring, she's like, well, I got to do something, and she has other skills. So you know, the idea of, oh, I'm a singer, I'm gonna be a singer. Cool, great.
Can't just do.
Is there anything else you can do? Because you're gonna need to learn how to design clothes. You're gonna need to learn how to edit video. You're gonna need to learn how to use Photoshop.
Yeah.
You're gonna need to know copyright law. You're gonna need to know.
It's so funny because a lot of people, you know, they realize that being in a band is a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
People from the outside think, oh, being in a band is such hard work.
Right.
People on the inside, most of them don't think that it's hard work because they're not doing the work.
Right. Yeah. Well,
You got Jim and I.
There's a big difference between playing in a band, and you've said this, and I love this quote of yours. There's a difference between playing in a band and being in a band. Right. And I remember when you said that, it was like that was kind of like a light bulb moment for me, where it was like, I've been saying this in the longest, hardest way to listen to for years. And
Well,
I could have just said that.
You know, it's really funny too because you said something to me many years ago that stuck with me for all of my life, and leaving the band situation and stuff like that is because you literally said to me, what you should do is look around the room and go,
Oh, yeah.
Okay, this is my life. Which one of you am I going to trust with my life?
Right.
And I said to myself, wow. So we've given each other something. That's why we do this.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So yeah, all of you that are out there that are in bands, actually in anything, in any group project, I think, like starting a business, anything. There's a lot of like young entrepreneurs happening right now, especially during COVID. A lot of people, like, while they were out of work, they decided to do something artistic or do something with their design skills or do something, that would start bringing in income somehow. And anything that you're doing where it requires you to work with other people, that's exactly, look across the room at that person and go, do I trust you with my future in this industry, in this business, right? And you got to look and you got to say, yes, I do. If I went down and I couldn't do any of the things that I bring to the table, do I trust you to pick the ball up and run it if that happens? And if you look across the room and you can't say yes, then one, you know where you're at, but two, now you got to make a decision, and you can make that decision because you've at least clarified what's going on.
Exactly.
And then you're not like getting mad at people for being them.
Right.
And I think that's a super important thing in any business and any partnership and any kind of quest for something better that you're on. You know what I mean? You got to look at the teammate.
To span the globe.
I
thought it would turn a lot easier, but it doesn't. It's glass. I'm too scared.
He's turning a glass globe. I'd be scared too.
I'm scared.
I'd be scared too. Just turn the one in your hand. Turn the one in your hand. Right now I'm drinking from North America.
Oh. I'm going to drink from Asia.
I'm also going to drink from Asia. I drank in Asia once. It was lovely. Well, more than once, but for 1-2 week period of time.
Right.
I drank in Asia.
So, what I think it's time for now.
Are we about to be powered by Poddex?
I think we should be powered by Poddex. I think
like
it's my week.
It's your week. Yeah, I had last week. So let's see. Do we want the interview deck or the episode deck?
I've been pulling from the interview deck.
Yeah, I like that. I like the questions. I think they're very good. So what we're doing right now, if you haven't listened to the show, we are a podcast that is powered by Poddex. Poddex is a company that makes cards, and if you've played games like Cards Against Humanity, it's basically the same idea, but it's interview questions, it's topics, it's episode ideas.
Episodes on.
Yeah, for aspiring podcasters. If you're someone that if you really want to talk to somebody on camera on things, sometimes it's hard to keep going. Not everybody talks a mile a minute like the two of us and can't shut up. Not everybody has that skill.
Verbal diarrhea.
Gift.
Maybe.
But what they do have is Poddex, and they have they've curated like all these cards with like really cool questions and ideas and things, so you're not always asking the same thing. And I can speak from experience as someone who has done a fair amount of interviews in my lifetime that, man, I get tired of answering the same questions.
Yeah, the same questions.
Right.
And then also, there's people who just don't know how to ask questions in general.
Yeah.
And this is... It's
I can't tell you how many interviews I've done that I wish they would have had some Poddex on them.
It'd be awesome. What we should do is... Once we're doing in-person interviews again,
right?
If we do run across that, we can bring the Poddex with us and then just go over the console and just be like,
oh, I'm definitely going to do that. I'm absolutely going to do that. And be like, hey, bud, I'm going to help you out. Because generally, I just take over the conversation.
Right. Well, no,
that's what I do. And now we can help them out.
Now you cannot be a a jerk and steal it from them.
Right.
Or you could just tell them to go to poddex.com/bacon. Oh, no, wait. No. It's not /bacon.
It's not /bacon.
It's promo code bacon.
Promo code bacon. Poddex.com, and I could be like, yo, buy your own pod. You like these questions that we just did with you? Did you enjoy the fact that you now look smarter than you would
look
have?
like an actual interviewer.
Right. We made you better.
Right.
Did you like that? Cool. Buy your own deck because I'm taking this home with me, but go to poddex.com and get 10% off by putting in the promo code BACON.
Ooh, yes. And then you can just be like promo code BACON. Bacon. You're typing in bacon.
Yeah.
You're typing in bacon.
Yeah.
That's the promo code.
How often do you get to type in bacon into promo codes?
Everything is better with bacon.
I'll tell you what, right now, I will put out there to every single person that's listening to this podcast, I want you to go on every single site that you buy something on, and I want you to put in the promo code BACON. And if you don't get some kind of deal because of that, I want you to write that site, and I want you to be like, why does bacon not work in the promo code? You need to sponsor Bacon as my podcast.
That's a great idea.
And we just need to annoy the hell out of everyone until they sponsor us.
We should definitely hit the ones that we really want.
Yeah,
Yeah, like the Line 6s.
Line 6.
I'd take Logitech.
I would too. Jameson.
Sure.
I would take Jameson.
Oh, Jameson, yeah.
I would take Shure. Yeah, I also have a Shure. We got two Shures. Sure.
Give
Not
me
a sponsor.
Give me
Not a
question,
sponsor.
Jim.
All right. So I'm going to give this to you to go ahead and
so we've already
and shuffle because I'm
talking.
terrible at shuffling.
Here we are, the year 2021. We have been doing this we're in month 4 now.
Do it into the mic because people like to hear that ASMR.
All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and start adding camera angles so this way people can actually see my shuffle.
He's got a pretty sweet shuffle. Now, I, as a person who lived in Vegas, have a terrible shuffle.
Right.
So I'm going to cut the cards, and I am going to only pull from this half. Actually, which half would you like me to pull from?
Let's go for your left.
All right, my left, your right. All right, we are fanning them out. You get your choice of card.
I will go. You know what? I'm just going from the top.
Going from the top. All right, so let me question you. What would be your, Mike, from Something Heavy, and Bacon is my passion, and Bacon is my podcast, and me, my own self, guy that has many things going on. What would be your best day ever?
Okay. That'd be really, really, really hard to make. But my best day ever would definitely be if we could take my studio and put it in, let's just say Aruba. Okay.
Panama.
Well,
Sorry.
So what would happen is I'd wake up, I'd make some biscuits and gravy for the kids. And this is the thing. So I actually like cooking. We've talked about this a number of times.
Yes.
So I'd do it. I'm happy to do it. So I would cook it. Then I would go out to the pool.
He's got a pool.
With a swim-up bar.
Ooh, pool with a swim-up bar.
It would be roughly 10 o'clock.
A.M.?
A.M., yes.
All right. I'm a bartender. Am I serving?
Sure.
Okay, good. I'm part of your best day.
Cool. Yeah.
See how I inserted myself?
Yeah. No, of course. So then I'd hang out by the pool for a few hours. I'd enjoy that a little bit. Go have a nice lunch. I don't know what that lunch is, but I wouldn't be preparing it, so it doesn't matter.
Right. What's your if you were gonna have best day ever lunch, give me 3. Give me a top 3.
Okay, top three for a lunch. So I'm thinking best day ever.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be a lighter lunch, knowing what was happening after.
Oh, okay. All right.
But
I like
if my
it.
stomach could handle it.
We already had biscuits and gravy, so.
Right. So, all right. So impervious stomach, buffalo wings.
Buffalo wings?
No, you know what? boneless buffalo wings.
Oh,
You know
you
why?
are a boneless guy. Yeah, you are
know
a boneless
why?
guy.
Because I just don't want to get it. If I'm working, I don't want to get.
I get it. I'm not a boneless guy. I like
I'm
boneless.
generally not a boneless guy.
All right.
But if I'm working, I gotta have the hand clean
Well,
divots.
think about this though. If it's your best day ever, you can have someone clean those bones for you,
Oh,
and then you can just.
I won't be at the
fork-
bar anymore.
Right.
So you can clean my hands.
Oh wait,
Perfect.
wait.
So, bone-in wings.
It's turning
I
into
don't know,
not my
there's-
best day.
There's a couple of like pretty good things. I don't know. I'd probably keep it on the lighter side.
Mhm.
You know, maybe a like a panini of some sort, like a delicious
Okay.
panini.
Okay.
I like all sorts of food, so
Yeah. Yeah.
so once that was done, I would let's see. I would go to the room. The kids wouldn't be there. You'd be watching them.
I'm watching. Okay. So I'm
After you
serving
watch-
your drinks. I'm cleaning your hands, and I'm watching your kids.
Right.
All right.
Just like when, like
Like
If
your
I had-
your best day ever. You could have any other people do this.
you've inserted yourself.
Right, for one thing.
Well,
Like I thought like I could make drinks and then we could have lunch.
yeah, but somebody's got to clean my hands.
Yeah, anyone could clean your hands. How's it me? Why is it always okay? Never mind. It's your best day. It's your best day.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
now I have clean hands.
I don't want to be a negative Nancy.
Jim's watching the kids.
Right. Okay.
Hopefully they don't have any kind of like sedative in them.
Oh, if I'm watching your kids,
Yeah.
I vodka'd their gums.
Yes. Yeah.
They're out.
Cool. And
They're teething. Don't
you know,
yell at me.
Jen and I would go to the nice room and do what two young, happily in love, consenting adults do.
Take a nap because you have kids.
Well, we do that after. that was you're jumping ahead here.
Right. I jumped ahead.
Yeah. So we do that, and then we would take a nap.
Wait, I'm not involved in that. Why am I not involved in that?
You're watching the kids.
Oh, yeah. All right. Yeah, but I've knocked them out.
Yeah,
I can
you're
just
making
film.
You're making sure they're not puking from
I can film it.
alcohol poisoning.
Oh, okay. All right.
So that, then a nap, then I'd wake up, I'd ask my bartender for my children.
I'm back to tending bar. Okay.
Children and a drink, sir.
All right.
And then I'd probably come out to my studio and do stuff, and you'd be there.
Right. Tired from a day of making drinks and cleaning hands and taking care of children.
Yeah. Puking up vodka.
Yeah.
That's on you.
I would also I would be ready to write some angry music.
Well, mission accomplished.
No, you're putting me in the mindset. I like it.
There we go.
All right.
Best day ever.
Best day ever. All right.
There we go.
Cool.
So, with that said, I am Mike from Something Heavy.
I'm Mike's bartender and childcare
Manslave.
provider,
You
Jimmy
are
G
my man slave.
from Craving Strange. We are,
Bacon is my passion.
and this has been Bacon is My Podcast,
Powered by Poddex.
powered by Poddex, and we are powered by whiskey.
Woo!
Thank you guys. Tune in next week. Remember
Over the
to
globe.
please share us with your friends. If you are on any kind of Apple service listening to us, give us that 5-star rating. It really does help us. And if you are on Spotify, just share us. Add us to a
Give us a
playlist.
follow.
Yeah, give us a follow. Follow us on our socials at Bacon is My Passion Music
Yes.
on Instagram and on
Yours.
Facebook. baconismypassion.com. You can also follow us there. You can buy something from the Bacon is My Fashion store.
Yeah.
And
You too can be a professional.
yeah, and we'll get that Don't Zest Me shirt happening.
Zest Yeah.
Maybe that'll even be up by the time this airs.
I hope so.
I hope so too.
I can't. You know what? It should be before it airs because people will see that and they'll be like, "What is that?"
Right.
What the hell is that?
And then they'll listen and they go, man, they were fast.
It's like they saw it coming or
But
something.
they're in the future.
The future.
So, from the future, we bid you a good night. If you can't be good at it.
I'm going to do the Bob Ross.
Cheers.